Hi, and welcome to my channel, BB's Crafty Haven. And today I have three spring DIYs for you. And I have a little guest here who didn't want to leave Mommy alone. She was needing some mommy time, so I had to sit on the floor to do this. Otherwise, she wasn't going to leave me alone. But let me see if I can lift her up. This is my Holly. She's a corgi. She's my baby. She's 1 year old. She's a sweetheart. She doesn't really like it when I craft because I'm not paying attention to her. She's the baby in the family, so it's always about her. And it should be. Anyways, with that, let's get to crafting, and I hope you liked the video. Please remember to like and subscribe. Without that, my channel will not be able to grow, so I would really appreciate it. It'd be a big help to me. So thank you again for stopping by. DIY number one. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take this board that I found at Dollar Tree, and we are going to use Waverly Wax, and we're going to spread that all over it. Once we got that completely covered, I'm going to take a wet wipe or baby wipe and wipe all that excess off. This Vaseline, and I rub it on top. I've seen this technique done many times, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I put it on a way too thick. And you'll see that in a minute. After that, I take some white by Apple Barrel, and I just kind of scrape it across, trying not to go too heavy-handed with it. But here I'm getting ready to scrape it, and you're going to see that how much I put on there, and you're going to see that I did too much, and it turned out extremely ugly, and I didn't like it. So, I mean, lesson learned. It was my first time trying it, so I know now. So after I get that scraped off, all that stuff scraped off, I dry brush white over top of it to try to fix it, and that's what I ended up getting. I then take some of this burlap that I got from Walmart, and again, I don't measure it. I fold it over to see what the size or how tall I want to make my little pocket. Like I said, I didn't measure it. Very rarely do I measure things. Kind of a lazy crafter in that aspect. But once I get that measured, I take it, and then you can see it's a little wide, and I don't want that. I want some of the wood to show on each side, so I cut down each side of the burlap. After I cut down each side, I'll take hot glue and start gluing down 3 of the sides. I leave the top portion of it open. Just be careful when you're hot gluing burlap, because it's easy to burn your finger because it seeps through. I did a pocket. You don't really have to do it this way. You can actually just use a strip and make a pocket that way. But I thought the burlap was a little thin, so that's why I doubled up on it a little bit. And I thought the pocket looked a little better. But here I am just tacking down each side. After I get each side of it tacked down, I'll run hot glue over top of that and then kind of push over the flap of the pocket. And once I get that tacked down using that little spatula, I will take some hot glue down the bottom and tack that down as well. Once I get that all done, I take, well, here I am pushing out the pocket, kind of opening it up a little bit. But I then take this ribbon. I'm not sure where I got it from. It was on sale. I know it didn't come from Dollar Tree. I don't know if I got it from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I've had it for a very long time. So I take it and I just take it down the middle. And I will cut off that excess ribbon. And I just tack down each end of that ribbon to that burlap. In the middle of that burlap. I eventually do get this tacked down. I didn't think I left all this in. I guess I'm going to show you all of this. Let's watch. Okay, after I get that all tacked down, I take some more of this ribbon and I make a shoestring bow. And I just tack that on in the middle of that burlap. Once I get the bow, stop fidgeting with the bow and get it the way I like it, I do eventually tack it down. There we go. And then I take some jute and I make another little bow and I tack that down and cut off any excess tails so it's not so long. And then I take all of this, these flowers from Dollar Tree, all these like wildflower kind of things, and just start stuffing that pocket full of all of that. And then I take this little pink button and I hot glue that down in the middle. And I'm going to show you that. It's very pretty. I think it turned out really nice. But before I'm finished, I take a wooden tag I think I got from Hobby Lobby and I paint that white and apple barrel. And then I take some Waverly wax and I kind of distress it up a little bit. And then I'm going to take a permanent marker and I am going to write Hello Spring on it. Sorry, that's a little blurry. This is the last time I will be filming with this camera too, so hopefully quality turns out a little better. I do sand it down and kind of distress it a little bit more. I'm gonna hot glue it down, and I don't show this, but I do put a hanger on it. And that is it. And here we are going to DIY number 2. I think that tag from Dollar Tree, and I'll take some apple barrel paint and paint that tag. I think I put 2 coats of apple barrel paint on it. And eventually, yep, there I go. There's apple barrel paint, and I do 2 coats of that. And I don't think I showed myself painting it though. I think I did that off camera. Okay, there's the 2 coated one. Then now I got all these paper, like vintage papers from Amazon, and I'm just showing you all the pieces I use. And then I also have these rub-on transfers from Amazon that I have. I can't remember where exactly what those are called, but they're just rub-on transfers I found on Amazon. I've had them for like ever. Then I have carrots, a blessed, and a little rabbit from Dollar Tree I end up using. What I end up doing is that I just take some Mod Podge and I just tear a bunch of those papers that I showed you, and I do some of the rub-on transfers. I don't think I showed you everything. This is not one of my favorite projects. I'm not a big fan on how it turned out, but there. I covered the back with some brown craft paper. So the editing on this is it's a little off because I didn't like this project. But I'm going to show it to you anyways. I take some apple barrel and I think it's pumpkin and pink carrots. And then I think it's forest green by apple barrel, and I paint the little stems of the carrots. And then I take the Waverly wax and just darken them up. I thought they were too bright. And oh, I take this burlap I got from Walmart and I cut it down and I make a little pocket and put the carrots in it. And I did glue the carrots together, but I don't know where that footage went. I'm not sure what happened to it, but as you can see how I stacked them and glued them. And then I glued them down onto the board and then glued the little pocket on top of that. I don't know where the footage went for that. And then I take some of this ribbon from Dollar Tree and I do the same thing I did on DIY number 1 and just hot glue it across. I take this rabbit and I take the white paint by Apple Barrel and I paint that and distress it as well. Again, I'm sorry this project's going is like I said, the editing on this one I didn't like it. I didn't like the project. No. So it's a little Mod Podge to put together, but I ended up gluing down that bunny. And then I take white by Apple Barrel and I paint the blessing sign. Want to get the little blessed sign tacked down, I take some of this little baby breath that I have and I tack down some of that right above the blessed word. I also have some little purple flowers that I also tack down as well. After that, I have these little paper flowers that I got from Michaels, and I start gluing. I glue 3 of those little paper flowers down. I don't even know if they have those. They might still have those. They're in a little box at Michaels. And there's several in a box. But after I get those tacked down, I believe I take like a little pearl from Dollar Tree or one of those little beads from Dollar Tree, and I tack that down into the middle of that flower, and just gonna push that in there. That all cut down. That's it, and I put a hanger on it, but I do that off camera. And now we're on to DIY number 3. I take this board and from Dollar Tree and I put masking tape on all of the holes, and then I put spackle in all 4 holes, and then I'll sand that down. And that's one of those hanging trays or shelves from Dollar Tree, by the way. After I get that sanded down, I will take some Waverly Wax, or this might be Apple Barrel. I don't know. I can't remember the brand I have. I think it's Waverly Wax. I don't know. And spread that across and wipe it off with a baby wipe, which I obviously didn't show. And then I'll dry brush some white from Barrel across it. Once I get done with dry brushing all that white on there, I will take this ring that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'll take yellow and orange fabric, which I didn't show me cutting. I actually thought I had filmed that, but I didn't. And I didn't measure the strips of how much I measured out the strips when I cut them. But I take those strips and I kind of loop them through that metal hoop and then kind of pull it tight. And I alternate the yellow and the orange fabric until the ring is completely full. But there's the fabric. There's my orange and there's my yellow. And I believe I got this fabric from the Dollar Tree. But here I am. I'm going to show you again. I just kind of pull it in half and then I loop it and then pull it through that loop. I hope that makes sense. And once I get that, I just do that all the way around until it's completely full. And I don't remember how many strips I took. I just did it until I felt like it was full. Once I get it all full like that, and it's very pretty, I think, once it's full, I will take my scissors and I go around and trim it. It's a little too long for that board, and I kind of figured I'd have to trim it. And I actually think I trimmed it down too far, but that's okay. But there it is, all trimmed, and everything's done. I take this cardboard and I cut a hole to measure the middle of that ring. And then I take some of this burlap from Walmart, and I take 2 because I didn't think one was enough. And all I do is hot glue it and just push it down in the middle of that cardboard ring or the cardboard circle that I made. And I just take 2 of them and kind of push it down together, and then I just cut it out, get rid of all that excess burlap. And I'm going to take that little burlap circle and hot glue the ring to that. So that's going to be my middle of my flower. So I take some hot glue and I hot glue the ring onto the burlap. And then I take that piece and I hot glue that to the board that we painted and dry brushed. Once I get that tacked down, I don't even know if I tacked it down yet. I may have tacked it down. I take this sign, this hello sign. I think I got that from Dollar Tree as well. And I just take some white, I believe, from Apple Barrel, and I paint that hello word. And obviously, I'm going to show you all this. I thought I deleted this out again. Yeah, I'm sorry about my editing skills. And this video I know is bad. It's definitely not very good quality. I'm a little upset about it. I'm going to go ahead and post it, obviously, but I am not happy about anything on this video. But I mostly want to do this to help inspire and hopefully help people create, inspire them to make something. So after I get that hello painted with white by Apple Barrel, I'll put it in the middle of that flower. I'll tack it down with some hot glue. And again, I left all this in too. I actually tried to edit this about couple weeks ago, and I got bored with it because, like I said, I didn't like it. And now I'm just now doing the voiceover like a week or two later. Note to self: do voiceover a little sooner so you can remember what you do on the video. It's still a learning curve. The technology in this is actually very hard to learn. All right. Hopefully the torture ends soon. Heat gun to dry it. And usually I don't show that on a video when I do that, because I know you guys all know how to do that. I even touch it to make sure it's dry. Good Lord, I cannot believe I left all this in. Okay, I guess I distress it. I don't remember distressing it. But, alright. I rustic it up a little bit. And I think I sand it down too to help blend it in. I kind of like that look when the paint's still a little damp, and then you put the Waverly wax on, and then take a sander. It kind of blends it in. I like the way that looks. I like that. I like the look of it. All right. We're going to finally, I believe, hot glue all this stuff down. I could cut all this stuff out, but it would totally mess up the voiceover. So I apologize again for you having to see all this. But there's the hello. And I'm just going to hot glue that down in the middle of that flower. I don't know if you want to call it. It's probably like a sunflower. I don't know. I think it's pretty though. I like the colors. I think this is probably my favorite project out of all of them that turned out. I take the tumbling tower blocks and make a stand for it. I think I end up taking 3. And I just hot glue them together. I don't know if I use any wood glue or not. Sometimes I usually do, because wood glue holds better. But I just stack those on, and then I'm going to take the picture and kind of angle it. And I'm going to hot glue that on there. Oh, I thought I hot glued it on there. Oh, here I go. There's the wood glue. That wood glue comes from Dollar Tree. So I do a combination of the wood glue and hot glue. And then when I put the stand up, I kind of put it at an angle so it will stay standing. It is a little top heavy. I guess that metal ring kind of makes it heavy. But I believe after that, I believe that's done. I believe that's it. And that is it for this project and this video. Thank God, right? um, Here's the final reveal. And like I said, I'm not very happy with all this, but this is what I got. And the quality of this video is not very good. Hopefully the next one is much better. I am learning and picking up a lot of different skills here and talking to other crafters and getting their advice as well. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.